We got a email coming in from Bailey asking, Dear Super Limited Runtime Friendos, I was recently playing a game I loved near and dear to my heart when the servers went down and the game was unplayable for that downtime. It made me realize that the game I love is on a lifeline that once that gets cut off, ends the game permanently, unless there's measures put forth, make it offline.
Like fans or something.
Yeah. It also reminded me of Ross Scott's from Freeman's Mind rant on games dying. What game will you miss when the servers shut down a component of, or a game system breaks and it's irreplaceable? Do you think there should be a larger effort to preserve games, like movies have the database and all that stuff in their original state? Or maybe preserve the final updated version of the game. So everyone who plays an MMO knows the fear of just one day that game's just going to die. There's going to be a lot of really fucked up WoW players one day that are just going to... And the important thing is to give them a new crack addiction to latch onto. But that's not just that. Fighting games die. Shooters die. Like, I can't go on and play Day of Defeat anymore. There's no one to play. I played 10 matches a year or two ago, and I thought there were people, but they were just robots, right?
How long did it take you?
Too long. like I was like, oh man, I still got it, and then I was like, I miss an era in which Third Strike is still popular, desperately. Like that's still my favorite fighting game.
You could still you could still get people to play that, though. Yeah. If not on an official console thing, people play that all the time on Fightcade, for example. Yeah, there is a movement to keep the question
going. Is more about, like...
and there's something else.
That shit's just fucking gone.
I think it would be a real shame if you could just not get Anarchy Reigns multiplayer going ever again.
Well... I mean, eventually they're going to shut down the 360 and PS3.
Yeah, no, so that's when, unless it makes its way over to other consoles, because now no one plays it regularly.
No one played it when it came out.
Yeah, but if you ask people now, like if you're a streamer or whatever,
I remember. Be like, I saw Liam wanted to do a stream of it, and he put out a big fucking call saying, "Hey, I'm going to play it at this time."
Yeah,
and was able to get matches.
You can get matches. I did the same sort of thing with Godzilla and the PS4. Its multiplayer is kind of fun, and no one plays it, so I was like, oh, it'd be Anarchy Reigns is the one because while its single player is okay, the bulk of that game is online,
and it's a good multiplayer game. I like it.
I was sad when Assassin's Creed multiplayer went away.
The one that cuts me deep. Oh, Brotherhoods, you mean, right?
Brotherhood, yeah.
Oh, that was good.
4A multiplayer, but I never got.
Oh, that Brotherhood fucking versus mode was great.
Yeah,
the one that just cuts my soul to the core is the original Metal Gear Online.
Yes, that's one.
That one just.
Because I did get my time on that, but it was much too short.
Yeah, no, I went hard on it and then left it. Was like, oh, I'll get back to it later. And
I'll do it a little later.
And then it died before I came back to it. It's like,
right.
Fuck. Do you think they should put more effort in preserving this shit? I do.
Certain things, yes. Certain things,
There should absolutely be some kind of repository. Like, there's a film, in the States, they have a National Film Institute that just takes old movies that matter.
But how do you keep multiplayer going?
You keep extra controllers. See, the problem with this is that in film, the movie studios have the masters.
Yeah.
And they guard those, right? Properly. And they can make copies and they give them out, right? In the games business, oh my God, we have heard so many fucking stories from every company they just burned it all. The game shipped, just burn all the documents.
And if your games are based on a license,
you have to burn those documents.
You got to do something, but then stuff when is taken away from digital stores, and once basically at some point physical editions will not be able to be bought anymore. I mean,
think about the game preservation responsibility to human. A game that is legally not allowed to exist anymore, to the point where your duty.
Why was that? Why was it so hard?
Because they lost the
against Epic.
They sued Epic for not helping them with Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
And then Epic sued them back so hard that the game was no longer allowed to use the engine that it was using, which means the game can't legally exist.
Yeah.
So if you have the game, it's your legal duty.
Good thing
to
I have my copy.
Yeah, I know, right? I have 10.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, absolute. It makes me sad when games disappear.
Yeah, no. Going back to it, I thought I meant like a mode or something. But yes, every game should be preserved somewhere so that
somehow,
like the code or I don't know, the ISO is just available at some point where it needs to be, where it's like it's not available anywhere else.
If you work at a game developer, please push to have some kind of like long-term master copies created. I know it's a little bit of money, but like you might want them someday. Sega has been awful about keeping its old games. They keep releasing the same 15 to 20 games in their collections.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, is it because they straight up don't have any of the other ones?
It's a high likelihood.
Yeah.
Like I'm also really like I was playing like an old PC game of like an IBM game, and those like there's steps, there's websites that I think there's archive.org or there's something like that will do that for some games, but even then not everything's there. And PC IBM stuff in the early to mid 90s is like a delicious era where I'm like there's so much weird stuff during that, and like you can't find everything. So yeah, some sort of depository.
It's one of the things that I actually adore about good old games. They'll take games that it's like this is not going to happen, right? Like I ran DOSBox and I did the shit, and it's not going to happen. And they go, oh, here you go, we fixed DOSBox for this game,
right?
Oh, it's appreciated. We got another.